Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm honored to be connecting in with you. In October, we have been focused on unmasking our potential. How do we strip away what no longer serves and really more fully step into our potential? And then as we're stepping into our potential, how do we share that out? How do we bring our gifts to the world in a powerful and positive way? Today, we're going to be focused on unmasking, so kind of stripping away what no longer serves, and sharing your light with confidence. We want you to shine beautifully and powerfully out in the world. I'm finding as I'm talking with people lately this month, they all seem to be pulled in multiple directions, having additional demands on their schedule. There's this acceleration, finding people are needing extra reminders, extra grace, including myself, that there seems to be additional things that we're stepping into. And we're moving forward. We're finishing up before the end of the year. We're starting to build for next year. So in all of that, today, we're here to support you. It's an opportunity for you to be poured into. And part of unmasking your potential, part of being able to step fully forward and shine, is allowing yourself to slow down, even in the busyness. Allow yourself to slow down. Take a breath. Be open to receive as you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth like through a straw. It helps bring you present. It lowers your stress levels, your cortisol levels, brings oxygen to every cell in your body so you can have clearer thoughts. You're able to be open and receive all that serves. I want to invite you to give yourself the gift of being fully present. Allow us to pour into you. It's not a solo journey. Let us come alongside you, feel that support, and let us share our wisdom, tips, and insights with you so that as you come to the time together, I was thinking the table together, to be present and receive, all you need to do is be willing to be open, be willing to be poured into. This time is just for you. So as we're coming present and we're slowing down, I wanted to share a poem written by Sam Yao. You can find out more about Sam and his beautiful poetry at samyaupoetry.com. That's samyaupoetry.com. samyaupoetry.com. And I selected this poem to share because it helped me slow down a little bit and really kind of appreciate all the different facets of ourselves and others. And I think that's important to, as we allow people to come alongside us, to let ourselves be supported and to really take a moment and sink into the wonder of the tapestry that we get to be part of. So the poem is called Unity in Diversity. So just continue to breathe as I share these words. Unity in diversity. 14 billion years ago, you and I were born of stardust from the explosive expansion of the singularity. We shared 99.9% of our genes co-evolved with all of life in this rich biosphere of amazing beauty and diversity. Formless divinity preceded the creation of form, imbued it with and enveloped it in infinite love, buried a spark in each of us, a light to guide us to our source, which is how the human mind discovers the elegant simplicity of mathematics that hold the secrets of the universe, which is how the human heart knows we are deeply connected to all of humanity to our divine origin and to our collective imagination and manifestation of our future in a glorious web. Let's rejoice in uniqueness, the intimacy in sameness, the admiration of differences. Each of us, a star shining in the tapestry of galaxies in the celestial dome. Feel how much a part of that you are and how we are all truly connected and can enjoy the wonder of each other and support each other richly and deeply on the journey. And I think that's important to remember when we're thinking about unmasking our potential, taking that mask off, trusting others with who we truly are, not always how we try to show up, one dimension of ourselves, but who we truly are, allowing ourselves to unmask all of who we are and share all of the wonderful aspects and dimensions of who we are out into the world. Let's take a moment and just take that in. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put both hands on your heart and feel your heartbeat. And as you feel that beat of your heart, take a moment and see what it is listening, what is sharing with you as you listen in. What wisdom, insight, or tip is it whispering to you in between the beats of your heart? As you reflect on unmasking your potential, as you reflect on the words of Sam's poem, what is it that you need today to support you, encourage you, empower you on your journey to share your light powerfully and beautifully out in the world? What do you need today? Real time that you are willing to receive. Unattached to how, but open to the wonder of discovery. What do you need today? Beautiful. Once you identify that, let's take a breath. Open up our eyes, come back into the room, fully present. Beautiful. Take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's keep it top of mind during our conversation today. Beautiful. And start co-creating it by writing it down, bringing it out of swirling inside of you to the forefront, to bring it forward as you write it down, to allow support to come in alongside you on your journey. Beautiful. With that, we're going to go around our virtual room and have each of our amazing guests take just a moment and share when we stopped and listened what was laid on their heart. Cheryl, I'd love to start with you. What was laid on your heart?
You know, Rebecca, it's interesting because as I sit here in my room, which is surrounded by windows, I can see trees and I see squirrels and I see all of nature playing in my backyard. And, you know, it shows me that there's something bigger. There's something bigger than what we can actually see in our own minds or in our own environments, where sometimes we have where we limit ourselves on the road we have to take. We limit ourselves on, I need to know how to get there. We limit ourselves on, I need to know what's going to happen. And there's such a bigger picture at play. And there's such a greater power that can be guiding us if we were to just surrender to that greater power and not always have to know the whys and the hows and what's going to happen next.
Beautiful.
And just put it out there. Yeah, you know, put it out there in the universe and let the universe respond.
Yes. I love it. Thank you. I was picturing through your eyes those windows and all that you're seeing. And what a beautiful, powerful reminder and the importance of surrendering, allowing. We don't have to have it all figured out, and that can actually limit us. But allowing can help us step into our greatness and our potential. I love it. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
Liz, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, thank you so much for this. I always appreciate the ability that I don't always take the opportunity to ground myself in a random moment in a day like today. So wonderful to step into that. And when I listened to the poem and listened then to your ideas about unmasking, the question that popped up for me is, what do you want? And one of the ways that we mask ourselves is we dumb down what it is that we want. And I suddenly got a little indignant, like, I don't have to apologize for what I want. I can ask for anything I want. And
I love it.
And be free with that, and just let that express itself in the same creation in the universe, because it's all created out there.
I love that. Really ask for what you truly want. Don't limit it. Don't make it smaller. I love that.
The universe is infinite. It's all available to us.
Yeah. Oh, powerful. I love it. Well, we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I invite you to stay present. Really think about what Cheryl has shared, what Liz has shared, and see how that's combining with what you discovered as you slowed down, became present, and listened. Really enjoy these next 2 minutes, exquisitely designed just for you. And we will look forward to continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. It's amazing when we slow down purposely and mindfully, the clarity that we can get, the rebalancing we can feel, the focus we can discover, and the wisdom we can bring into our life. So as we continue our conversation, we are talking about unmasking your potential and really sharing your gifts, your light, out into the world. I'm just excited to introduce our first amazing guest with you. You got to connect with her on a heart level in the opening segment, and I wanted to share just a little bit more about her as we continue our conversation. So Cheryl Mays is the president of the Rise and Shine award-winning consulting firm, a best-selling author, international speaker, on-air personality, and contributing writer for Entrepreneurial Magazine and the New Zealand Dream Series. She has over 20 years experience at senior leadership level in sales, and she is a TV show host of The Author's Lounge and Power Up, Maximize Your Potential. She is passionate about helping you accelerate your profits and really bring forward everything that matters to you. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Cheryl Mays to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here with you, Rebecca and Liz.
Yay, we are excited to have you joining us and celebrating. It's so funny. One of the things my team and I have been doing to cheer on during this busy season is every time we connect and we kind of lean into something, we always cheer. We're going, yay, team, to cheer ourselves on.
Yeah.
Take those next steps. So I felt that yay, team energy as we were welcoming you to the stage. I hope you felt it too.
Absolutely. It's interesting you say that, Rebecca, because, there is so many things that we do that we don't celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
We wait for these huge, momentous moments before we go, oh my gosh, now I can celebrate.
Yeah.
But it's those small celebrations, those small victories that let you know I can do this. If I just keep moving forward, I can do this.
I love that. And doesn't it make the journey more joyful, too? It's not like someday I get to enjoy this or celebrate. You can celebrate now. If you look for it, we can celebrate something every day. Yeah.
And that's what I do. That is truly what I do. And that's what I share with my clients, is that every day there should be something to celebrate. Even if it's as small as, you know what, I didn't eat the entire bucket of ice cream. That's a celebration.
Credit and celebration, right?
Exactly. Those are things that we need to celebrate. And, as you talk about unmasking, it's so important that we celebrate us.
Yes.
Oftentimes we wait for other people to give us kudos and attaboys, and then when it doesn't come, we feel as though we haven't accomplished anything. And we kind of, the doubt starts to set in because it's nobody said anything, so maybe I'm not worthy or I'm not doing what I should be doing. And it's important that you celebrate yourself and tell yourself, I love you, I appreciate you, because that's what keeps you going.
Oh, I love it. I thank you for sharing that. I so appreciate that. And it also just strikes me with that it's something that's no longer dependent on someone seeing you a certain way or acknowledging something that's coming from within you. So it's not dependent on the moods of others or them seeing or not seeing, but that I think that's so powerful and empowering. Anything you'd like to add to that?
I myself, I've had to, and it happens repeatedly as we're continuing to progress and always looking at the next level. And that's to silence the chatter. And that could be external chatter from forces that are within your circle, or from, unfortunately, that huge dependency that we have on social media to validate our existence and our being, to be able to silence all of that. And even internally, to silence all of that negativity that we have allowed to seep into our subconscious, and to just, have words of positivity. I am a huge advocator for affirmations, words of positivity. Creating, I have here on my computer screen as I'm talking with you, I'm looking at my vision board, which is my screensaver. And on it, it has my favorite quote, and it says, "But as for me, I will always have hope." and that's Psalm 71:14. And I look at that because it continuously reminds me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And sometimes I think we forget the why. Like you said earlier, it's Q4 and everybody is looking at the last 3 months of the year, and trying to accomplish everything in 3 months that you might not have accomplished in the prior 9 months. You're trying to squeeze it into these 3 months to finish strong, right? As they say, that coin term, finish strong. And it puts a lot of pressure. It puts a lot of pressure on us. And, my words of encouragement, as I've had to say myself, is just appreciate what you have accomplished and know that there's still time. But give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace.
I love that. So give yourself grace and to celebrate, not wait for someday, but really find those things to celebrate. And I thought that just struck me as just a powerful tip. I like how you've utilized that space of your screensaver to put your vision board. I mean, that means it's just automatically in front of you all day long. And I think that's really brilliant as a tip. And I wanted to make sure everyone heard that because I know it was a side comment. But that's a really great tip, and be mindful of utilizing those tools and spaces to be supportive of you. And as we're thinking about unmasking your potential and some of the things that can come up, we've talked about the pressure, and we've talked about sometimes those inner and outer critics that can come up. Another thing that I think comes up sometimes when we're thinking about our potential, and this even ties into what Liz was saying, ask for what you really want. Don't make it smaller. It's fear. How do you navigate around fear if it comes up or when it comes up? And how would you advise us to do that?
We all have a tendency of experiencing fear, and fear can come into a new job, a new relationship, a new experience. There's that moment when you're like, oh my gosh, you've got sweaty palms, you've got butterflies in your stomach, and you're just like, I don't know if I can or if I should. And what I know about fear is that it's an acronym for fantasized experiences appearing real. We have created an image. We have created this image in our mind of the worst case scenario, the catastrophe. That's what we have placed in our mind of what could happen. And so we have to reframe, right? If we reframe that picture, it allows us to rewire. And instead of putting the worst case catastrophe, let's put the best case scenario. Right? What's the best thing that could possibly happen by taking that leap? By taking that new job? What's the best thing that could possibly happen by entering into that new relationship? By going to the movies by yourself, by going out to dinner by yourself. What's the best thing that could possibly happen? And so when I started making that flip, then I have the tendency to now, when I get the butterflies in my stomach, because they still happen, now, they fly in formation, is what I say. They now fly in formation. Because I now can control it. And I can take that fear with me and really utilize it as fuel to say, okay, girl, you got this. Get out there, make it happen, because when you show up, the universe will support you. Your creator, whatever it is that you believe, whoever you believe in, they will support you as long as you get yourself out there and you show up.
Beautiful.
Some of the best things that have ever happened to me is when I have just thrown my name in the hat and walked away and said, okay, we'll see what happens. And when it happens, I'm like, oh my gosh.
But I love that you're available.
Yourself away.
Oh, so powerful. I love that, being willing to show up, really flipping that from the worst case scenario to best case scenario, and being open to have that flying formation for you on your behalf to all that you're looking to bring forward. I love it. Any final thought or tip or something on your heart that's coming to mind as you reflect back on our conversation?
Yeah, and it goes along with grace, right? Sometimes we try things and it doesn't work in the time frame that we've given it, or it doesn't work in the way that we expect it to work, and so we quit and we forget about it, and then we go, well, I probably didn't deserve it. Don't do that to yourself. Allow yourself the opportunity to fail, but learn. Allow yourself the opportunity to move forward, even though you might be in fear, and allow yourself the opportunity to create positivity in your mind by selecting words that will encourage you, words that will inspire you, and words that will motivate you to keep moving forward. And always have hope.
Always have hope. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I love that we can make those choices and your encouragement to do so. As we get ready to go to our next commercial break, listeners, I encourage you to stay present. Really reflect back on what Cheryl has said and what is speaking to your heart, to your spirit. Take a moment to process that on a cellular level, as my grandmother would say. Really connect in, breathe in all that serves, and we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world. Hosted by NYLC CEO Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, an opportunity to breathe and be and receive. And as we continue our conversation and we're exploring how to unmask our potential and really share and shine our light out into the world, I wanted to introduce our next amazing guest. I know you're going to love her heart and her spirit. Liz Wolfe is a coach, author, and speaker who helps entrepreneurs get unstuck so they can launch and grow an authentic business. She has over 20 years experience empowering others through her coaching process. She has launched and led multiple businesses and is passionate about helping you step into your abundance. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Liz Wolfe to the show. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Hello, world. Thank you.
You are welcome. We are clapping and welcoming you to the stage and just thrilled to have you joining us. And I wanted to start our conversation a little bit with some of your story, because I always find it interesting. People are meeting you now in this moment in time, and they may not know some of the journey and why you do what you do and how it ties into growing up on a sheep farm. Do you mind sharing with us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite stories, and I want to make sure everybody knows that my last name is Wolf and that I grew up on a sheep farm. So that's always been our our tagline, which is
nice.
Wolf's the name, sheep's the game. And I no longer raise sheep, but the quick story is that my mother and my two sisters and I ran the sheep farm, and we had a whole cottage industry selling wool items that we made from the sheep. And that was my earliest exposure to being a speaker and an entrepreneur, because at age 11, I was spinning wool in front of crowds of people, telling them about the virtues of wool, which was meant that I never was afraid to talk in front of a crowd for the rest of my life.
Oh, how beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing. And then how does this tie into abundance and why? And I know that you talk about abundance principles, so maybe let's start there. So what are abundance principles, and then how does this tie into that?
Yes, thank you for asking that. So the good news is that I grew up on this fabulous farm. The bad news is my mother was a really bad businesswoman. She's no longer with us, so she can't overhear me. But she wasn't a very good business person, and I really believe that one of the reasons that was true was she had no training in how to be a business person. It was all based on survival techniques. And I think the first thing we want to really do is look in our own world and our own life and look to see where we're operating out of that fear, as Cheryl was talking about. That's a scarcity-based conversation. I'm afraid that if I don't do this, this will happen. And so on the one hand, you can call that scrappy and working hard and all that stuff. But on the other hand, it wasn't always effective. So one of the things that I learned is that there's this idea out in the business world that you have to work really, really hard and have really good time management and really good discipline in order to be successful. And I will tell you that I worked very, very hard, and so did my mother. If you ever want to hate your job, go pick up hay bales in a hot field in the middle of summer, when your mother's yelling at you to work faster, right? So working hard does not necessarily equate to abundance if you're doing that from a scarcity context. And so I devised some abundance principles that I teach in my coaching around business, which is the 3 R: ask powerfully, give wholeheartedly, and receive graciously. And if you focus on developing those skills, then all of which are in your control, by the way, then you will be coming from that space of abundance instead.
I love that, because I also, as you were sharing about that, coming from that survival, if I don't, because you're afraid of the consequences, so you're taking the action, it feels heavy and hard and somewhat painful and not very empowering, almost like you're trapped and you have to, versus choosing to move something forward, seeing a vision and bringing it forward, which feels very different to me, much more abundant. So I love, can you repeat those 3 again? I just want to make sure everyone heard them.
I'll give the quick rundown on it. Ask powerfully.
Beautiful.
What I mean by ask powerfully is ask for whatever you want, just like we talked about earlier. But be specific. Be specific. Don't say, I want to make more money. Say, I want to make $100,000 next year, or 10% more, whatever. The second one is give wholeheartedly. Most people think giving is the easiest part until you remember that sometimes there's a saying out there that says give till it hurts, and sometimes it does hurt when we give. So giving wholeheartedly means to come, again, from a space of abundance. But the purpose of that is I create I'm creating in the universe what I want at the same time that I want it. So if you want clients, give a referral so somebody else gets a client. And then that's the giving wholeheartedly part. And the receiving graciously part, again, everybody's like, yeah, I want $1 million. But if you really evaluate how you receive, you will see, as for most people, that we receive very conditionally. And so the receiving graciously is saying thank you. And, of course, having gratitude, which I want to connect back to what Cheryl was saying around celebration. I thought, that's one way to celebrate what you have created is simply to experience gratitude for it. You don't have to, pop a champagne bottle, although I'm all for that. But having gratitude is a form of celebration, which you can do at any time.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing. And how does this, as we embrace these abundance principles and maybe shift some of our thinking and really kind of look at, are we graciously receiving or conditionally, because those can be sneaky. How does that help us step into our potential more fully and really shine what we're called to share out into the world? How do those connect for us?
The biggest way is something that you referred to as this feeling of have to versus choosing to. And when you think of have to, the next word that comes to mind is victim. I am a victim of my circumstances. I don't have any leads, or I don't have any prospects, or my mother-in-law is a jerk, or whatever. We feel like we're victim of these circumstances, but we don't have any choice in the matter. Whereas having choice implies responsibility and control and ability to choose what you want. I believe that what we tend to do is we look out there to see what is available to us versus what we want and what we create. So what's available to us is limiting and scarcity-based. What I want is abundance, is coming from a space of abundance. You can control, and you have your own ability to choose to ask powerfully, give wholeheartedly, or receive graciously at any time. You don't have to know anybody special. You don't have to be particularly disciplined. You don't have to be the most, have to have a PhD. You don't have to have all these things that we all think you need in order to be successful. You don't need all those things. You can hone these skills, and that's completely within the realm of your control and is extremely powerful once you put it into application.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I was thinking, one of the things, because I take segments from the bios, so listeners, if you want to see the more expanded bios, please click on the link to learn more about each of our experts. But one of the things, as you're sharing, kind of came to my heart and mind that you list in your more expanded bio that one of your greatest accomplishments is staying married to your husband for 25 years while running a business with him. And what I loved about that is I thought you're really choosing how you define success and celebrating that and are on purpose with that. And I'd love to know any suggestion or tips you have as people are looking at abundance and really asking what they want, how that ties into success and maybe how they're looking at it.
Yeah, well, I want to say that, first of all, one of my greatest accomplishments is staying married to my husband for 25 years. Okay, period. And then, and I'm running a business with him.
Yeah.
I adore him, and he's a very powerful part of our partnership. And I will tell you, I did not have the modeling for that in growing up. My parents were divorced. I thought growing up that I needed to be a independent woman, to do my own thing, to be creative. I had to be divorced. So it was a major accomplishment out of the old context of scarcity that I grew into this like a both and rather than an either or, a both and. Yeah. And I believe success is relative, certainly. Again, if you're looking out to what's quote-unquote available to you, then you're doing a lot of comparison, like, well, what is available is I could be, Mark Zuckerberg or whoever, or I could be this other person over here who's scrappy, can't, minimum wage. No, you choose the life that you want. That is abundance. I get to choose. There's plenty for everyone, including me. And so and then the next step is, what is authentic to me that is a definition of abundance for me? What is, quote, plenty for me? And it's often not what we're supposed to think it is based on the commercials that we see and how the culture tells us to be. So that is one of my biggest accomplishments for sure.
Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And I think this is perfect for us to reflect on. We're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I want to invite all of you to think about some of what Liz has shared, these 3 abundance principles, and where are you kind of operating from, and how are you looking at success, and what is truly how you would want to define success, because you get to choose, and there's plenty and there's enough for everyone. So take a couple moments and really see if you get to design success and everything's available, anything you can imagine. What is it that you would put into that mixture of success for you? And we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Take us on the go. It's even easier now. The Voice America Talk Radio Network has a mobile app for iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle. Visit the Apple App Store, Amazon, or Google Play to download the app powered by Aircast. It's free and no registration is necessary. In minutes, you could be enjoying your favorite Voice America Talk Radio host no matter where you are, in the car, out and about, while traveling, or anytime you can't be close to your computer. Catch up on the archives you've missed or discover new shows on the spot. Search Voice America at your favorite app store.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. That you took an opportunity to reflect on all that is speaking to your heart and to your spirit. And as you're doing so, I hope that you have taken a moment to also glance back at what you wrote down at the beginning of the show, of what was really laid on your heart that you need today, that you're open to receiving, and see if that has moved a little bit, shifted a little bit, if something's gotten added to the mix to support you. If there are some new concepts or ideas that you can add to your toolbox to support you in stepping more fully into your potential, stripping away what no longer serves, and really owning your beautiful light and gifts and sharing them with the world, making choices that are empowering and supportive of you. And here's an extra credit bonus opportunity, a choice that I invite you to make. That as the show comes to an end, we're going to give you an opportunity to connect in deeper with each of our guests. I encourage you to write down their information, reach out, connect, go deeper. 2, at the end of the show, don't just rush off into the next thing pulling at you. Take 2 to 3 minutes, even 5 for you, to let that final processing sink in. And then as you look ahead at your day, choosing mindfully, purposely, how you are going to step forward. Beautiful. So with that, I hope you have your writing utensils ready. We're going to start with Liz. Liz, what is the best way for people to connect in with you and go deeper?
Thank you. Yes. So everybody will remember my last name is Wolf, having grown up in a sheep farm. However, it does have an E at the end of it. That's Wolf with an E. So my website is lizwolfcoaching.com, lizwolfcoaching.com. And if you go to lizwolfcoaching.com/3 keys, you can get a code to take my 5-day abundance challenge training. It's normally $97. You can get a code and you can do that training for free, because we really it's literally just barely touched today on any of the principles of abundance. But that training goes through 5 days and gives you some challenges to do, and will get you primed and ready to get out there to ask, give, and receive in a powerful way. And of course, you can always reach out to me using the contact information on my website as well.
Perfect. And can you give us the website one more time and the special link for that magic code?
lizwolfcoaching.com/3 keys spelled out. THREEKEYS, 3 keys. And it should take you right there. If you have any issues, you could just email me.
Okay, great. Thank you. I so appreciate you sharing and making that generous gift available to really support our listeners. And is there any final tip on your heart or spirit that you would like to remind our listeners of as they get ready to go back out into the world?
Yes, I would love to remind everyone that the universe wants you to have what you want, and that there is an unlimited resources available to you. One last tip I will say, I don't believe in coincidences in this way. Once you set an intention to create something, you will notice that the universe will start to support you, and quote unquote magically things will start to happen. Receive them. They're there because you set the intention to make it happen. It's not an accident. It's not happenstance. It didn't fall in your lap. You didn't just by the way. None of that. That's you and your intention creating it. So own that. Own it and say, look at that. What I'm focused on creating is actually occurring. Own it. Be responsible with it. And then receive it.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for those tips, important reminders, and own it and receive it. It's not just an accident that happened and you were in the right place by chance, that you're really setting that intention and receiving it. Beautiful. And then Cheryl, I would love for you to share the best way for us to connect in with you and go deeper.
Absolutely. You can visit my website at Rising and Shine. So it's RisingAndShine.com. There you can find the other social media handles via IG, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And, I love, as I stated earlier, the power of the words that we speak to ourselves. And sometimes we can be a bully to ourselves just by the words that we speak. And so I have a resource that I provide. It's a free gift, and it is Affirm Your Truth. It's creating positive affirmations for your life and business. And it's a PDF, and it has, people sometimes go, affirmations, I'm not sure how they work. I don't understand why everybody is looking at affirmations to help them to progress forward. But there's empirical data about affirmations, and it is in this Affirm Your Truth PDF, along with how to create a positive affirmation. And then there's a journal where you can begin to write your own affirmations for the various areas of your life, of which we operate within 7 areas. So it's a great go-to whenever you are looking for inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. There's an opportunity for you to truly affirm your truth.
Beautiful.
And that's available on my website. If you select the free resource tab, that will appear for you.
Beautiful. That was going to be my next question. Where do we get it? That's perfect. And could you list your site one more time so everyone has it, and then click on free resources for your beautiful gift?
Yes, risingandshine.com is the website.
Perfect. Risingandshine.com. And do you have a final tip that they can take with them for today to encourage and support them on their journey?
Absolutely. Again, words that you speak to yourself are so powerful. So speak words of encouragement, speak words that inspire you, speak words that motivate you, speak words that allow you to love yourself. And it inspires your hope.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I so appreciate it. And listeners, I hope you've taken great notes. You've written down contact information. I have one more resource I want to make available for you, especially those of you who are wanting to reach more people. You're wanting to stretch out and get on some additional stages to really bring your message to more people that are waiting for someone exactly like you, the way you say it, the way you bring it forward, the way you share your expertise. Or you're perhaps interested in being a guest on my show. I would love to let you know the best way to do that. You go to speakertalentsearch.com, speakertalentsearch.com, and you apply. There's an application process, and as you go through the steps and you make it to the finalist round, you have an opportunity to get your message and information in front of not only me, but many people on the panel who are looking for guest experts to showcase on their platforms or on their shows or on their programs. So I want to encourage any of you who maybe in this last quarter, that's one of the things on your list, or as you're looking ahead, that you're really looking for some support and help in doing that. This is part of our giving back and helping those connections happen. So go to speakertalentsearch.com. There are deadlines. I believe the deadline is the end of November for the one that will happen in January. So I encourage you to check it out. We'd love to have you connect in and be able to support you in bringing your message forward to really reach all the people that you're called to reach, because you are a gift. You are powerfully, purposely made, and I believe exactly for such a time as this. And the biggest gift you can give to the world and to those around you is being willing to share a little bit more of you, being really easy to find, especially by those who are hurting most and are most in need of your gifts and your talents and all that you're bringing to the world. So I encourage you to find ways to bring your message forward. Find ways to share and shine your gift out one step, one heartbeat at a time. And share by share, life by life, we start to make a global difference. But the ripples start with us. We get to ripple that out. So be willing to share the amazing gift of who you are. Look for opportunities to do so. Unmask your potential. Choose to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.